Okay, so welcome to part 7. Yes, this is a remake for the 6 of you that watched the video that I put up this afternoon where I'd rigged everything up and I was turning the motor over to create a flashing effect on the CDI. What I had noticed is that I was having trouble with various other parts of the circuit, including the spark. I wasn't getting 12 volts off of here, off of my spark plug, nor was I getting spark. So I'm not sure what's going on with my CDI. Maybe it has been damaged at some point in my garage. Maybe I kicked it, broke it, dropped it. I don't know. But I was also poking it. Maybe I didn't have enough power. But anyway, what I have done is gotten rid of that because that's the wrong way to do things anyway. You don't want to hoary up some kind of dodgy circuit on a low voltage circuit like this. All you're going to do is get flat batteries and melt things and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I have got a different variety of dodginess going on here, where I've got my drill connected up so that I can turn the motor over nice and quickly and check for voltage at various points. I'm going to check that I have a spark voltage, which I already know I have because the CDI was working and flashing and so on. Well, the CDI was going, but I wasn't getting a spark voltage for whatever reason. And then I'm going to check that I've got different voltages, each voltage from the Stator charge circuit. Now I don't have a what do we call it, a battery charger, nor do I have a voltage multimeter because my old man has a lot of those kind of things in his garage and I often borrow them, and he's away riding his nice new motorbike that he just brought around the South Island. So all power to him. Would not try and stop a baby boomer from riding their motorbike. So their 600, what is it? I don't know. It's like a CB 600 or something. I don't know. I don't know much about motorbikes. I mean, I know about mopeds, but I don't know much about big R's. I have a license to ride a motorbikes. Oh, Kawasaki 600 or something. I don't know. It's a boomer bike. It's not a dirt bike or a two-stroke, but anyway, it's pretty cool. I like the look of it. I've sat on it. I'm not allowed to ride it, obviously, because, it belongs to my dad. But anyway, rightio. So I'm going to check out these different parts of the circuit, make sure it works. Also, you'll see there that I have my potentially either rectifier or regulator that I was referring to in my first video as the clicky thing. Now, I'm not 100% sure on how that works. I'm trying to figure it out. If I need the earth that was connected next to that part of the circuit, I don't know 100% everything about them. What I do see is I see 3 wires, 3 input wires and an output wire, and I don't know how they work, and if I have to earth a part of it or what, or if it's earthed through the frame as if it's very similar to my spark plug. But I'm mucking around with that. I need to look up a circuit diagram, and once I've got a charged battery and so on, I'll be able to figure out what I have. What I have noticed is if I connect all 3 of my wires together from the stator and turn the motor, I get no voltage. So obviously I need to use that item there somehow to change whatever voltage, whatever form of electricity I've got coming out in an unbalanced or unbalanced sort of supply of 12 volt negative, and it turns it into something usable. So I've got this plug here off the old circuit, which is actually one of the older indicator lights plugs, and that plugs onto my stator so that I can figure out what's going on. But I do need a multimeter to figure out exactly what's coming off, because just getting a light doesn't really tell me a whole lot. It doesn't tell me if it's negative or positive really, it just tells me that there's power there. So, because of course I can put 12 volts positive onto here and it will still complete a circuit, won't it? Yes, but it will make the battery go flat, I assume. So, I'll go through what I've done that's done right. First of all, I have done things I've done previously. I've got this set up so that I can check this. That requires different step up and step down tools. They're quite expensive, so don't get that wrong. Make sure it's all tidy and not something that's going to just fall apart on you because it'll break something. So anyway, I have my motor loom here with my 3 different wires for my motor. Yep, it's only 3 wires really. If you remember earlier, at some point, maybe in a deleted video or something, I was talking about a race stator. If you do have a race stator with only one little coil in it, you've got your, as you saw on there, the black and the white, the black and the blue wires. This is going to be the black, and the blue just turns into a black wire over here. This is going to be, sorry, the red and black that comes off there, and the blue wire, and then that's the spark plug. So all that is really the little coil that turns with the motor and creates your spark. Then I've also got this coil part for my solenoid, or starter solenoid, or starter relay is probably a more accurate thing to call that. A solenoid is similar to a relay in the way it works. However, a solenoid generally operates with like something pneumatic, which is like air or something. So anyway, this is a relay switch. So this goes really along all the way up to the handlebars. This goes down to the motor, and then I'm still working on my charging circuit. Okay, and then I have my ignition wiring. So I've got this main wire that needs to be connected together properly, and my kill switch, which still needs to be spliced in so I can have a button, and then other parts of it. Okay, so one that goes to negative and off to the supply part of the circuit, and one of them's just an earth. So, and then at the other end, obviously, I have my supply voltage for the CDI, which is going to get spliced into the battery end. No, it isn't. That is going to get spliced in somewhere that is isolated from the battery on the negative side way over here. Okay, so if you see this wire is actually a part of this circuit. You would be mistaken for thinking that it's a part of the motor circuit. Previously, I even put it on there when I first put those cable ties on there, but as you remember from one of my really early videos, this wire needs to be connected on the opposite side of the power, so that when you turn on the moped, it will energize your CDI and also energize everything else, rather than being connected straight into the mains and being turned on all the time. Along with the charging circuit being connected in that fashion as well. So this is a red wire that goes straight back to the battery, and then there'll be possibly this black wire, which I may have to turn into a red wire, and that will be connected straight into everything else. Okay, yeah, so you know, there's a supply coil to the ignition, and then there's a coil, a supply to everything else on the other side of that. That's why I've got this here, sort of sitting here to remind me. In fact, I'm going to go grab the rest of that wire and put it with it, so I don't forget how to do this correctly. So there we go. That can go there, even though that's too short. Okay. There we go. So mocking up looms, making stuff sit right, and then doing testing with meters is the preferred method. So to finish off the video, I'm going to run this quickly and get a light going so that you can see that everything on my stator works correctly. One quick tip is your coil for your coil needs to be spaced out correctly. So see that little plastic thing there? That needs to be set to the right distance. If it's not set to the right distance, you won't get anything. I don't even know if that's the right distance. I just adjusted it all the way outward because it wasn't working before. So what I'm going to do is I'll just turn it over. And as you can see, I have missed. As you can see, there's a gap there, or whatever gap distance that is. I'm not sure what the exact distance is supposed to be, but I'm going to find out. So anyway, here we go. I'm going to turn the power off for this, and then we're going to turn this motor over. We're going to get some fucking lights. Alright, that's one. Okay, now we're going to alter this slightly. We're going to go over to earth. Not earth, I love saying earth, I mean negative. Okay, now we've got the charging coils off of the stator here, creating 12 volts. Here we go. That's one. Probably safely assume they all work now, but I'm going to go through them. If I can get that in there. Come on.